All right, I think I got it. So,
Good news, everyone.
all right, how's everybody doing today? Ooh, let me get my camera on.
It's not working.
Nope, Daddy got it working. Apparently, it won't just start with OBS. It's supposed to start automatically, but it wouldn't. I kept copying the stream key, pasting it, doing everything else, and nothing was happening. But I am live.
You are
Hopefully, some
live.
people join us. That would be great. We're going to go ahead and look at this plant that was found. Now that I'm live, let me do a couple of things here. I had to move everything around, so just give me a second. Capture top moments. Okay, I don't want to see all that. I got that. Okay.
Daddy, that's
So
Mars.
now we can.
That's Mars.
Yes, honey, that's Mars. Hey, Ricardo, how you doing? Had a little difficulty here getting started, but I finally got it. Okay, we want.
Hi, Daddy.
Come on, where's the pop-out chat? There it goes. Okay. That way I can see the chat while I'm doing everything. Oh, I don't want it full screen. Put that right here. I thought I had everything ready to go, but OBS and YouTube had other plans. So now we got everything right. Okay. So I wanted to take a look at these plants that were found by Joe White. Oh, that's the. There we go. This was an image from Curiosity on Sol 3474. Let me slide this over. There we go. And oh, I lost my chat. Tell you, I'm not very good at this stuff. Oh, glad to hear. Glad to hear. We're doing good here too. It's a little hot, and we have a circuit breaker that is going out. And anytime we turn on the air conditioners or anything like that, it was popping the breaker. So last night I got the bright idea to move everything that has any kind of load over to the other side. Move that breaker over on the other side. And we had air conditioning last night, but we sweated it out all day yesterday and the night before. Because anytime we turned on the ACs, whether it was the house AC or just the room ACs, oh, it would pop. It would get real hot and pop. So we're waiting on a new breaker, and that's going to be like $140 something. Dear, I'm in the middle of a recording. But this is the image here, and the first thing I wanted to do today is kind of show how we can clean this up. If you get into this image, why is OBS not back on the background? Why do I still have those? I just want to make sure that we're able to see. There we go. Okay. And I didn't switch screens again. How about that? Still getting used to this going live. And I lost my chat again because I wish I had 3 monitors. Now I need 3 monitors. All right. So when you get into this, you get this grid pattern on these plants. So the first thing I wanted to do, now I've already enhanced the image, but I want to kind of show the process so that if y'all have images that you want to enhance, it's not as hard as it seems. I use GIMP to enhance the images, but see that grid pattern? That gets rid of a lot of the detail by itself. Now, according to what we're getting from NASA, this is because these images have not been fully processed yet. So normally what I'll do, and Chris does this, and Joe White and everybody else does this, it's really the best you can get out of these is I'll go wrong screen. Oh, come on. I'll go into GIMP, and then for me it'll be on recent. I don't have any recent files. I'll take the image here. So I find out where I put it. There it is. And I'll just take it, drop it into GIMP. Now the first thing I generally do is I will take this image and I'll come over here to image, go down to scale image, and look at the size of it. This is 1328 by 1184. Generally you can double the size, maybe a little more, but I usually just double the size of the image. Alright, what's going on here? 2654. Hey, why won't you let me scale the image? Okay. Oh, I know why. Try that again. 2654. And there we go. It's a lot bigger. Now, you're still going to get the grid pattern, right? So, let's get a good spot where we can see this grid pattern real well. Real contrasty part. First thing you want to do is come over to your filters and add a Gaussian blur. Alright. And you really don't have to adjust the settings very much. Where it blurs it is actually right about right for most images. You can adjust it if you want, but you don't want it too blurry. You just want a little bit of blur in there. Alright. And then what you want to do is go right back to right here, enhance under filters, and then we're going to sharpen and unsharpen mask, and you want to turn the radius up just a little bit, not too much, but then you adjust your amount until it starts coming back in focus. If you go too much, you get the grid pattern back, and you can see that it kind of just oversaturates the image. So you just want to find a good spot to where it looks good. Maybe a little less. You can adjust the radius a little bit. See how that works. And you'll see that's pretty much gotten rid of the grid pattern. You can just barely see it, but it's a lot less. And now when we zoom out, it looks like a pretty good image. So that's really a lot of what the enhancements you have to do. And then if you want, you can add oh, that's one thing I forgot to mention is on what was that, under image? I usually lose this one, then I have to remember where I did it. Let's see. You want to convert it to RGB basically. Where was that? I know it's at the top. I always think I have everything so prepared, and then I know it's not over here. Okay, let me think about this. Filters, tools. I swear it was in here. But anyway, you want to convert it to RGB. And if I find it here. I know it's on here somewhere. Okay. Wow. I thought I was all ready. No, it's not under layers. Oh, okay. It's under image mode, and then click on RGB. Now what this will allow you to do is add a little color to it. So you go down to color and go to is it color balance? Which one do I normally? Yeah. And then you just put a little cyan in it right about here. And I usually take the yellow, bring it down just a little bit. And the magenta I don't really mess with. If you do, it gets red. But if you want to, you put a little red in it like this. And there you go. Now the next step is the brightness and contrast. That's, let's see. Oh, colors. What am I under the wrong one for? All right, there we go. And then I usually bring up the contrast just a little bit, and then I'll go back and adjust the exposure. Black level, you can play with it a little bit. That's just anything dark. You can either lighten or darken it. So whatever you want. But that looks pretty good right there. And then comes a whole part of actually cleaning it up. And that's where you use your dodge tool and burn. Generally, I'll set it down to about 50% for the first time and bring the force up. And then, of course, I'll bring my brush size up. The first one is not too heavy. All you want to do is just go over the whole image and just give it a little brushing like this. You can start to see details coming out. And that's, like I say, I set the brush about 50%. And I just kind of go over it like this. I'm not going to spend too much time on this because I want to get into the other stuff. But I wanted to show this because I know there were questions on how to enhance photos. I've seen people asking that, and I'm getting better at it. I'm not anywhere near great. But there we go. And that would be like the first burn. And then what I'll do is I'll drop it down to about 25%. And then take my force down a little bit. And then I'll get in and do these detail areas like this right here. And shrink my brush down. And then you just kind of go in here and go a couple of times. Hey, no problem. Yeah, like I said, I didn't want to spend too much time because I know there's plenty of tutorials on how to clean up images. But I saw people asking this. It was a while back now, but I was like, yeah, I was curious too, and I followed several tutorials and was able to actually learn some stuff and start cleaning up images myself. Because if you remember, I used to use Chris's burns and then model from there, and every once in a while I still will. But now I'm getting good enough to where I can clean these up on my own. And you just go a couple of times, fix any areas where you can't see any detail coming out. Like this area right here now has some good detail. And you just go over it. You don't want to burn too much, or you kind of burn through the image. And I try to stay away from the dark spots once I get more of it burned. But see this rock, this was this rock I was talking about in front of that this object right here. I try to bring out some detail on that. Sometimes it's so light on an object that you don't get a whole lot out of it. And of course the resolution is still not very good. But a Gaussian blur, and then go back after you use the Gaussian blur, go back and resharpen and just till it looks good. If you zoom in on this now compared to the original, it's starting to get, well, let me just put a little more, oops. But if you use that Gaussian blur and then resharpen it afterward, you think it'd be counterintuitive and you just go back to right where you were, but no, it actually works. I think it was Joe White from Art Alien who talked about that. So there's a little more detail. Now we go back to the original and we zoom in that much. See how we get that grid pattern? Now we don't have that grid pattern as much. So that's pretty much what I do. And then I oops, I didn't mean to bring up Blender yet. Helps if I click on the right one. Where is it? There we go. But there you go. That's a good, pretty clean image. And then you can, I think I'd back down the brown before I would do it. It's just a little too brown. Or bring up the exposure. You can always do a lot with exposure because it fixes everything. Well, not everything, but fixes a lot. There you go. Bring up the exposure and it looks pretty good. And of course, the white levels I probably need to bring down. But I just wanted to bring that up because, like I say, there were questions about that, how to enhance images. And like I say, I was in the same boat. I was like, yeah, I want to learn to do this on my own. So about, I don't know how long it's been, 4, 5, 6 months ago, I started really doing tutorials and working on cleaning up some of these images, try to make them look better. And because I always go through and see if there's any new videos that like Chris hasn't done yet. There's new I should say gigapans and images that come out. I was like, well, I need to be able to clean these up too. Yeah, actually what NASA explained on the grid patterns is these are the initial images that they receive from the rover. They're sent in RGB, and then they'll do a quick render of those, put the 3 images together and put them out. Now the scientific community and the people at NASA, they get the high-res photos first of all, because we're still not getting high-res photos, but they get the high-res photos and they're fully processed for them anywhere from 4 to 6 months before we'll get the highly processed images. And I'm like, well, that's kind of bad. I mean, why do we have to wait so long? This should be available to the public all at one time, but they don't want to do that. They want, the scientific community to have the first dibs on it. So we got to wait to get them. All right, so that's basically what you do to enhance the images, and you can do a lot more. I mean, there's a lot more you can do. Like now Chris's burns will go a lot deeper because he's not trying to model or show how to, or he's not trying to model or show this like in a realistic setting. He's trying to bring out, keep bumping the mic, sorry. He tries to bring out this stuff that's hidden. And if there's stuff hidden under like this dirt area, you gotta burn and burn and burn to get some of that out. And then sometimes you get pixelization that happens, like that one that I did on, I don't remember what sol it is now, 12 something. That with Jimmy Roberts' machine, that cylindrical machine he found up on that hill, that area that Chris also did a video on, that same sol that he said was like a dirt road or something. He burned through it. I took and burned through it, and just you can't bring anything out. They blurred that part. They literally blurred just that section. You can see once you burn through it where they masked it out, and then they blurred it, and then they put a texture over it. I was like, man. Yeah, definitely should be available to everybody. But yeah, that's what I wanted to show on that. And any questions on that before I go on to the next part? Ask mommy, honey. I'm in the middle of a live stream. She wants a little drink. But yeah, let's see. I want to go. Okay, now this one was the burn that I did before, and actually now that I'm looking at it, it looks a little yellow. Hi.
Hi.
Say hi to Ricardo.
Hi.
So this one looks a little yellow now that I'm looking at it, but I started having the wife look at stuff because my eyesight is not really great after this stroke that I had, and it's hard to see colors anymore. Well, I see the colors, but they're just like,
You can't tell the difference what they are.
yeah, they're not. I don't get any saturation at all in them, and I can't tell like between oranges and reds and stuff like that.
Sometimes pink too.
Carry on. He said hi, baby.
Hi.
But yeah. Now here's a question I had. To me, this kind of looks like a rock behind here. I thought at first it might be another leaf shooting off on this side, but on this side, this doesn't look like the shadow of this dark side of this. It actually follows the contour of the rock. So I think that's the front face. Let me see if I can get in closer. Of this rock behind it. But did you want to say hi, mushroom? There's my little mushroom right here. Say hi, hi Ricardo.
Yeah. We showed the other one, but the other one doesn't have a shirt on.
Yeah, you have to put a shirt on her. Like I say, we're having only use the room air conditioners, so they're like, well, they were wearing the bare minimums, you know, underwear and maybe pants, but it was too hot in the living room. It is 87 degrees today. Now it's been in the 90s. It was 94 yesterday, I think. It got up to 97 yesterday.
Wasn't it almost 100 degrees?
Yeah, 97 degrees Fahrenheit yesterday, and it was 94 the day before, and that breaker picked a bad time to go out. Of course, the reason it probably went out, or at least we noticed it, is because you got more of a draw on it in the summer. So it really took a toll on it. All right, but yeah, and this piece right here, see if I can get this over far enough. I'm not going to be in the way. Yeah, I am. Let me move my camera. What do you call it? My video.
Okay.
Hold on. I'm going to switch to here. I'm going to... Oops, forgot to unlock it. Move this over. There we go. Relock it. Switch back. There we go. Now I'm out of the way. Because you can't slide over anymore on this. Did you say hi?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's my little mushroom. That's crazy about the colors. I just showed. I am colorblind from birth. Yeah, well, we live in West Texas, El Paso, and
It's miserable.
yeah, it gets miserable in the summers. Our hottest point will be about 107, 105. Sometimes it get up to 108. Did we hit 111 last year, or was that year before?
I thought that was in
Get down.
California.
Girl, no, here. We hit over 100 in California, but I'm talking about here.
We got close to it.
It was last year or year before it hit 111. I was like, oh my gosh. Phoenix, when we went to Phoenix, was 117. I was dying. I was like, God.
Even with the air conditioner with the truck.
Oh yeah,
was
and my
doing-
truck AC couldn't keep up. I mean, we were sweating in the truck. We were sweating outside of the truck. We went into the truck stop to cool down. It was still a little warm in there, but it was a little better. Oh, I'm talking about this thing. I get sidetracked easy. But yeah, I don't know what this is. I was hoping either you with your good eyes, even though, like I say, you say you're colorblind, but you should have a better eyesight than me on this, because that's the other thing it affected is and that's probably why I can't see colors real well. Everything looks like it's in a haze, like it's a foggy day or something. And seeing detail, I thought I'd never be able to model again. And I have to get her to check stuff for me to see if I'm actually seeing stuff right. So, what do you have an idea what this could be? I mean, and I'm talking about obviously this piece over here. This thing, I mean, like I say, it looks like a clamp on this side. And then it almost looks like a wrench on that side. Can I get in closer to that? But I have racked my brain on it. I don't think it's a plant.
Hey, real quick.
Could it be an encrusted metal object? But what would it be?
Real quick. I know you gotta get this video recorded and all that.
This is not recorded. This is live.
Okay. My point is, see if any of them can solve a 3x3.
Oh. The cube master over here. You gotta get in the shot so you can see.
Right now.
Oh, she's wondering who can solve a 3x3. She also does 5x5s. Well, 4x4s, 5x5s.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Yeah, deformed
Mega
cubes, all them things. This girl is a genius, and yes, she's still dating me, or married to me, I should say. Hey, get your arm off the microphone. She can solve that in under 2 minutes. What, a minute? What's your time? A minute 10?
Something like that.
All right, let's see her solve this. I am puzzled what it could be. The whole thing sort of looks like molten metal. Yeah. And then encrusted or dust covered. Probably encrusted with something.
I don't have the good 3x3 with me. I gotta find it.
Yeah, where's your speed cube?
I gotta find it.
I showed you how I can solve a cube, right?
We're not taking out the stickers or taking out the pieces.
Wow, look at that. Yeah, that might have been your fastest time. No, I was talking about I made an animation in Blender of a Rubik's Cube, and then I started with it solved, and I obviously scrambled it, and then I just reversed the video and said, look, I can solve a cube too. He said, holy cow, Batman, that's amazing on that cube.
Thank you.
Yeah, she's got it. Well, how many cubes you got? 20?
Oh no.
15?
Oh no.
More? 30? I don't know.
Close to almost 25 actually.
25 cubes?
Okay. This one you guys already saw. This is the one you guys saw. There's this one. Another 3x3. It's not very fast either.
Okay. Where's your that Go Cube, whatever that thing is? She's got one of them Bluetooth cubes. It's up here? But yeah, she's like a cube master. Surprisingly, it's not fast enough for competition. I don't know how these people solve it in like, what is it, 7 seconds or something?
The world record for a 3x3
Yeah.
is almost 2.
2 seconds?
Yeah.
2 seconds? How do they even move their fingers that fast? 2 seconds? This is a Bluetooth cube right here. This one will connect with your phone, and it'll show on the screen wherever you have it positioned, and then
It'll teach you how to solve it.
yeah, it'll teach you how to solve it too. So it's all beyond me. I tried solving it even with that, and I was like, no.
You know, one of these days, if you don't mind going live, so I can show them the cubes.
All right, one of these days.
Because I don't want to take up too much of your time with yours.
Yeah, but yeah, maybe molten metal. I don't know. It, like I say, it's very strange either way. And there's a guy at JPL that we know, and he always tells me I need to get a real job, and you know that this is none of this is anything other than natural rocks, and it could be. We don't know until we get boots on the ground there. But how does a rock form like this? This is my question. I'd love to see his explanation of this right here. Or is he going to say that that's laying on the ground? Never mind the shadow right here and the angle of the sun that we can tell by looking at these rocks right here. You can see that the sun is up and to the left. So I'd love to know his explanation for that. Or maybe that shadow is not a shadow. That kind of looks like, what's that robot's name? Wall-E? Yeah, I don't remember. I figured she would know. This right here, see the head? That would be the head of the robot. That would be the body.
Yeah, that's Wally.
Yeah, Wall-E. So maybe that's the shadow Wall-E. Maybe we have Wall-E on Mars. Is that your speed cube?
It's one of them. This one's faster.
Oh, here's your speed cube.
You want to scramble it?
These allow for corner sliding. No, I'm kind of in a video right now. I've got other stuff I need to get to, like...
Okay, well, that's not important. My cube's more important. So...
See, I'm scrambling, just turning it. I have no idea which way I'm turning it. The only other thing possibly is natural in origin is a... Oh, yeah, fulgurite, yeah.
Is
Yeah, but
Gerda the only one on here?
so far, yes, ma'am. Okay, now I scrambled it. Oop. I scrambled it. Looks scrambled to me. Maybe I could do a little more over here. Alright, clock's ticking.
Okay. What's he saying?
Oh, he said hi to Lynn Peterson's in here. Hurry up.
Shush, don't pressure me.
Amazes me every time. Like I said, I can't do it. Yeah, the only question I have is, and I'll show you, we're going to go to the model here in a second. These are very square looking right here. Well, rectangle, that's what I was trying to say. Rectangular, these arms coming out, and then you get into that little part that looks like a clamp. And then this one looks like a wrench, and I wouldn't think fulgurite would form like that. Now, maybe. We don't know on Mars what, you know, what all the processes that happen on Mars, so that was real interesting. He did? Oh, an image. Yeah, I was hoping he would post a video on it. I was like, oh, I love his videos. They go long sometimes, but he usually posts some good finds. So I really got a I think he's got a web page too. What's Up in the Sky 37 is the web page also, right? And I think that's where he posts his images, and I need to go to it. I just, with my time, I'm generally watching videos and and then I'll click the links down there a lot of times. Okay, let's get into this model. I got a few I want to show. Okay, that's 3474. There we go. Let's bring the lighting on. Yeah, I know. I've tried those Rubik's cubes and I just gave up. Like I say, she's got that Bluetooth cube. You connect it to your phone or computer, whichever you want, and on the screen it shows what position each of the parts are in and what moves you need to make from there. And I still got confused. I was like, nah, I ain't doing it. Nope, this ain't working for me. But this is the model that I created of this. The floor is just completely flat. I didn't put any bump or anything on the floor. Actually, I think I added a little bump to the texture itself. You kind of see it. Probably with the YouTube algorithm, it's not going to show up anyway. But yeah, this piece here was really cool. I don't know what it is, and these are what these look like. Let me see if I can get in. In fact, did I join those to it, or are these still separate? No, they're joined to it. So say I could separate those. Okay. Let's do this. Linked. Just L for linked if you ever get into 3D modeling and you want to select one piece of your model. P to separate. By selection. Now you have a separate object. Go back into object mode. Click on it. Well, click on this and hide. There we go. Now we got just this part of our model. But this is what this kind of looks like. It kind of has this shape. That that arm that's on out, well, to the right side for us, you know, facing it. And it's gonna look a little distorted because the angle it's at. And then this one over here, let's see if I can get the right angle like I did in the video. There we go. Oh, come on, move just a little bit. There we go. It actually has this opening in the middle. It literally looks like clamps like this. So I don't know. Okay, let's Alt H is to unhide everything, and then Control Z to unparent. I mean to rejoin it back together. There we go. Alright. Oh. I guess I can look at these in the model. But yeah, all I did, I wanted to get this out pretty quick and jump on this because I thought this was a pretty significant find. Like I say, I don't think that these are, you know, laying on the ground with shadowing on the ground. In fact, that's what I was going to do, is come over here and show this. It's okay. Let's move this out of the way. Grab on the Y. And I can almost hear somebody from NASA telling me that what you're seeing is something laying on the ground and it's not standing upright like you think. And then, like I say, my question is, well, what's this right here? Because that knuckle that's on here, and these are called nodes. I did remember to look that up. These parts of a plant where it's got the little elbows and stuff, where stems and stuff will come out, are actually called nodes. Yeah, it does look like a wrench. Yeah, exactly. But like I say, I've got a guy that we communicate with that works for JPL, and I can almost hear him once he sees this video. Well, the previous video I posted, I doubt he'll watch a live stream, but he'll tell me that these are laying on the ground. But once again, I would ask, well, this shadow actually matches this piece right here. So where is the shadow coming from? And now the top looks a little weird, but everything else in there matches this. So I'm pretty sure we're looking at objects standing upright. And they came out pretty good, especially for doing a quick model. If I would have had a lot of time for this one, I would have put more into it and made the texture fit a little better. But yeah, that's kind of what these look like right here. There we go. Yeah, that's that. What they call these nodes on the plans. Like I said, I had to look that up. And another thing that makes me seriously believe that these are either fossilized plants or maybe they're still living and just dust covered, but I'm most likely fossilized, is these things get wider at the bottom. You can see that in here. And I actually made it wider at the bottom. Well, exactly. In fact, my light was a little off. I tell you, stuff gets moved in Blender sometimes. When I did the video on this, I didn't realize the light had somehow moved. I had this light right in the same position. Let me get my light. Now, let me go to solid mode. Now this should be grab and put it over here, and it should be just a little bit, not a whole lot, just like, well, okay, let's go to front view, and let's see how that looks. But yeah, you're absolutely right. We can match the shadows. Let's see. Okay, now you can see our shadow matches with that sun angle. And I wish I would have textured the terrain with some actual 3D geometry. We could see that better. Now this one's going to be off of the thing, but there you go. That's putting the sun where it is, and it's going to be slow. But if I go into cycles, let's go up here. Let's see. I'm going to have to change my render settings. Go to GPU, and then let's take this down to like 15 samples. The shadows will actually look a little better in cycles. How many more has it got to go? How many more samples? And this is just doing it real quick. And look, we got our shadow. This is our actual shadow right here. And this is the shadow that's in the image. And we're pretty much dead on with the height and everything. Like I say, I could adjust the light a little better, but yeah, exactly. This is standing up. Yeah, exactly. Like these are some sort of leaves or something. Both plants have it, or both. Like I say, I call them plants. But, let's go ahead and go back to Eevee. I don't need my computer to crash with everything running. And since this one's leaning back so far, you're getting a little bit of the shadow behind it. But also, I need to move my sun probably higher and over, because it should be to the side. Let's grab it on the Y. I move it over here, and then that should push our shadow to the side. Let's see. Nope, that one's just leaning back. So far, But it actually matches. If that's a shadow on the ground, then that's a shadow underneath this too. But yeah, that I found that very interesting. And like I say, he hasn't sent me an email or anything, but I can just hear it coming. Pareidolia police. Yeah, those are pretty cool. I saw that. I was like, yeah, I gotta jump on this. First thing I noticed was the shadows and how the shadow bent the way this node did. I said, yeah, those are definitely standing up vertical. That was the first thing that stood out to me. But yeah, that's pretty cool. This is a very cool find by Joe White. Now, you know what? I'm gonna save this so the sun doesn't move again. Well, it'll move, but. And I put another light over here just shining this way. I should have turned off shadows on this one, but you don't really see them too bad. Let's put you back up. Oops, wrong one. Right there. Now let's save. All right. Any question on this before we go to, what was it, 3464? I tell you, all these numbers in my head from all these sols, plus perseverance sols, it's easy to get confused. I think it's 3466. Alright, now sadly, I did not get enough done on this that I wanted to. I wanted to work on this week and I didn't have a chance. Okay. So, here we are. These are the things I did get done. Let me texture these real quick. What was it? Rock Rough 01? Yeah. Alright, there we go. Okay, so where is my image for this one? Please tell me I brought it up. Yep. Okay. Bring that over here. Okay, what we're going to look at is over here. I have the GigaPan also. But last week we were talking about getting these rocks modeled in here and this piece. I did get that done. Now you can see there's a wedge-shaped rock right here. Get in closer. And then there's this rounded, well, it's beveled, like cube-shaped one here. And then we got the bottom of, I call this the Christmas tree. It looks kind of like a Christmas tree. It really does. But it's got these pieces that stick out here. And they're broken off here, it looks like. And towards the top, it looks like they got chiseled off too. But this is a rooftop, I believe. This whole structure, in fact, this structure comes all the way out to the right. Right here was a rooftop. And it was hollow because when this came crashing down, and I don't know if it was sitting over here or if it was up here, but this whole thing looks like it caved down. And happily day. Yeah, that's what it looks like to me. But this thing toppled over either way. So if this part was maybe, or maybe the back side of this piece, maybe it was either on this piece or it was on this roof, and when it caved in, it could have slid forward. But the most likely thing is, as the roof was caving in, it would probably fall. So it was sitting somewhere in front of this, and then maybe it got knocked back because the roof is right here, and then you have these parts that slope forward, and then this is another rock right here, and this is that this right here is that piece that comes out. Let's go into the model. It's easier to explain. Wrong thing. Told you I can't see worth a darn. Turn on the lighting. Okay. So here is. Let me know if that gets too loud. I can't. Is that? Yeah, it's showing us clipping. Let's cut back just a little bit. I got my mixer sitting on the side, so if it does clip on the mixer, I never see it. And when I recorded that video, I didn't realize it was clipping, and I had to readjust the audio. Yeah, exactly. And then there's actually a smaller slab sitting on top. And okay, let's click on the Christmas tree. I didn't join that to the object. Hey, eat your chicharrones. She's eating chicharrones. Don't just grab them, eat them. You got this one. Yeah, and she loves chicharrones. She will eat those all day if I let her. I got a bag. I had the wife pick me up a bag yesterday, and they're already halfway gone. Can you see that in there? I was like, Jesus, child. Well, I ate some too. Don't get me wrong. Oh, that's not supposed to be out. Hold on just a second. That's supposed to be in the refrigerator. So she loves chicharrones. Alright. Hey, what do we got going on there? Oh, shoot. Yeah, that was one I'm still working on. Grab along the X. No. Click on it. There we go. I know which rock that was. I was going to try to get to it. Okay, let's hide our structure. And this is just a temporary material. I'm going to try to stretch that image texture over it better, but I needed a temporary material so I could see stuff better. Okay, is that this one? Hide. Nope, I hit something else, but that's alright. So I want to show this. Okay, so we're going to rotate him on the y-axis. No. I forgot to set the origin on this. Hold on just a second. I swear I set the origin on you. Okay, tab into edit mode, and we want face select, that and that. Shift S for cursor to selected. Tab back into object mode. Object set origin. Nope. Wrong one. Set origin to 3D cursor. There we go. Now it'll rotate right. Now, if we rotate this up, you see this slab here and here? In fact, let me show you in the image before I do this. Because this is, I think it's important, at least to me it is. Do this. Okay. You could see how this bottom part is up against the back of this slab. I don't think this slab is very far from the front of the structure itself. And I'm wondering if this is what caved in the roof. If you look at the shape of the cave-in, it kind of looks like this is what caved in the roof. Alright, so I want to show that real quick what I surmised. There's no way to tell if I'm right. But check this out. Let's zoom in. Watch this. Rotate on the Y. Look at that. Sits right, well, we're not quite level. Sits right on that piece. Now, it would be overhanging. Maybe there was more back here that we can't see. And then if I bring back the structure, what I should do was model the roof where I could actually, I could put some physics on it, and then when this object collides, it would crumble. But even if this is a little more far forward, oops, I just want this. No, I want this. Okay, let's say it's sitting on top of that slab, right? And imagine this roof is all one piece still. Whatever destruction, maybe it was a Mars quake, maybe it was when the nukes hit, who knows? NASA, by the way, is saying that that may have opened up that quote unquote doorway when this last Mars quake hit. And I'm going, nah, something ain't right, because that, I believe that 3460, what are we on? 3466 was before the Mars quake. But anyway, it's just my opinion. Oh, yeah. Okay, so if we rotate this and it's falling over, boom, we just collapsed in the roof right there. Let's see it from a different angle. This is why I think this was sitting in front and not on top. Oops, went too far, because it actually winds up laying right there. But that's what I came up with, was this was probably sitting in front. Whatever the structure is, and I really don't know. I think is, yeah. But that's what I think is this piece. Whenever the destruction hit, oh, I can't. My cursor's at the bottom, so it's hard to do. Boom, there you go. And that's about how it ended up. And then there's all these rocks around it. It could be a little more. It's actually, because the tip is almost even with the rooftop. So for the angle we're looking at. And then this piece that comes out over the slab was almost touching it. And we can see that in the gigapan. Okay, I'm going to undock that, bring it over here real quick. Oh, I keep forgetting I got to go back to my chat. Put that back up. There we go. And I started on that. On those two rocks. But here we go. Yeah, see how it comes up to the back of this? You can barely see it. Oops, I don't want to zoom in too far. But that line looks like the back of the slab. And I haven't gotten into this. I forgot to get into this in the video. This piece right here, this looks like some sort of gold or brass, copper, something very shiny. It's got almost a gold tint to it. Let me get a drink. And I haven't modeled it yet. But you got two lines coming down, one right here, one right here. You have a piece that's extruded outward here and curves backwards. It actually looks like it comes up in the back, like it's some sort of plate with a, it's rounded on this part right here. Like this part's flat in the front, and then it starts curving up into almost a cone shape, and then there's that hole at the top. I really should get to back to this model this week. I hope I get more time. I was really disappointed in myself for not getting more of this done. I just had so many irons in the fire that I was like, I'll never get this done. Yeah, exactly, Lynn. I don't know. I think it's metal. It's definitely different than this other stuff. I mean, the color is just so different. It's not a rock. So that's why I'm thinking metal. I mean, I don't know. It could be, I guess, a gold-colored plastic, but I would think to sit in this heat like this, the heat in the sunlight like this, and the UV rays are more on Mars than we get here, that if it was plastic or something like that, it would deteriorate, or be almost gone by now. And then there was this piece. This is another piece that's totally different color. It's got this like cube shape right here. And then it's got this piece on the front that actually kind of looks separated, but same material. Or maybe this part up here is extruded upwards, because it actually looks like this piece sticks out, this piece sticks out, like they're extruded sideways. And there's one more back here. And even these corners don't come at complete 90-degree angles. There's like the corners that extrude outward too. So definitely looks artificial, but I didn't know what that was either. And I'm going to get to modeling that this week. But I did model this big rock, as you saw. I modeled this wedge piece. I modeled this slab here. Let me back out a little bit. And this slab here. And this one gets wider towards the back. Or we're just seeing more of it, because there's like a little tiny ridge line right here. That's the ridge line. Yeah, exactly. But that's cool. And then the other piece is this. Now, some could argue this is a rock, and I couldn't deny it, but the texture on it is different. It almost looks like it curves around in an arch right here. And then there's this piece that has two 90-degree angles like this. Well, one 90-degree angle, two sides that stick upward. That's right there. Then it's got a smaller one that could either be a cube or another one like this. On the UFO question, a little more than seen. Let me put it that way. I don't really like to talk about it too much, but let's just say, well, I'll just say it straight out. The wife and I have been taken a few times, and I didn't know what was happening at first. I actually went, I had to go see a hypnotherapist to figure out what was going on. And I met with Joe Lewis at first. He's an author. He's really been out of the game for a little while. Him and I are still, friends. He lives here in El Paso, and then he sent me out to Barbara Lamb. Me and the wife out to Barbara Lamb in San Diego, and but yeah, a little more than seen. I mean, I saw it before it took me, but I didn't remember any of that until I went through hypnotherapy. But good question. And I had three a triangular shaped scoop mark on my shoulder. The wife got pictures of it for me, because I didn't even notice it until she asked me. She said it wasn't when I was brought back one night. Oh, and no, but you want to tell him, or you want me to tell him? No, okay. And then right before, was it? No, it was right after you got pregnant.
Yeah, I was 7 months.
Yeah, when she was 7 months pregnant with our first daughter. We have pictures of all this on her. Well, I'm not gonna be able to show you my leg. I ain't gonna get my leg that high. But anyway, where her calf muscle was, or is, on the side, there was this circular mark that showed up. Well, something flew by her leg, and she thought it was a bug or something, and it stung her, and it was about the size of my thumb, and it had these 12 little holes around the outside, and did it have one in the middle too? I'm trying to remember. I have to go back to the pictures, but it at least had 12 equally spaced holes around the outside of it, and one in the middle. And yeah, we've had a little bit of a UFO experience. And we did for a couple of years, flashing lights in the house. Oh, the humming and buzzing from the UFO. That's generally when I knew they were going to be coming. And so yeah, I don't know. I'm not like afraid to talk about it, but I don't normally do it just because there's always a stigma with UFOs and UFO encounters and stuff. And I met Whitley Strieber out in California, and at the Contact in the Desert, and I showed him the pictures of the implant, and I had my what do you call it? What is that thing? The thing you look in the ear with? Otoscope. Yeah, I have my otoscope with me, to show him. But yeah, there's a lot of stigma that comes with it, so I don't usually mention it too much. Yeah, what sent me to go see a hypnotherapist was I thought I was just dreaming about these, because when they would bring me back, all I would remember of the whole experience was being dropped on the bed from about 2 foot up. And one night, now we had these 2 little chihuahuas, and one night when they brought me back, they dropped me on the bed and I landed on the dog, and the dog yelped really loud, woke everybody up in the house, and everyone was asking me, what happened? And I was like, I don't know. I mean, I was still in a daze, and my head was foggy as can be. I said, I don't know. I landed on the dog. And somebody asked me, what do you mean landed on the dog? I don't know. I just landed on the dog. And he said, was she okay? I was like, yeah, we were holding her and everything, and she was scared and shaking, chihuahuas shake and stuff. So I was like, okay, this stuff is real. What in the heck is going on? And I said, well, I'd heard about hypnotherapy and being able to recover memories by doing hypnotherapy, and I said, okay, I'll give it a try. So I looked for I contacted MUFON, and I told them, I said, well, they were asking me about my story, but I was like, well, I don't know what my story is. I said, I'm looking for a hypnotherapist that deals with UFOs. And they said, do you think you were contacted by a UFO? I said, I don't know, but it's the best explanation I've got going so far. But anyway, they hooked me up with Joe Lewis in El Paso, and he did a couple of regression sessions with me, and he was like, yeah, you definitely have something going on. And he says, I'd like you to see a colleague of mine. She lives out in California, if you're willing to travel out there. I was like, yeah, well, I'm out in California just about every week. So, I mean, I can go see her. I can take some time off while I'm out there. And so I went and saw Barbara Lamb. But, yeah. So, seeing when you come through a portal. Now that would be cool. I see. Only thing I saw was the bottom of the craft, even through the regression. I haven't seen portals or anything like that. That's the stuff that intrigues me. Anything that's technology based really intrigues me because I'm really into that sort of stuff. And obviously, behind a portal, there's got to be some technology. But yeah, this one freaked me and my flatmate the hell out. Yeah, it's always good when you have witnesses because otherwise you start questioning yourself, which I was. I mean, I was starting to question myself. You know, am I losing my mind? You know, and then now I constantly in my left ear, I can't believe I'm telling this whole story now. In my left ear, I have an implant in each ear. And this one just beeps constantly, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week for the last, how many years has it been? Goodness, 20, I have to ask the wife, 2017, 2018. All I hear is all the time. Now it's not as loud because Barbara Lamb had me ask the ETs when we were in one of the sessions if they could fix the implant or remove it. And so I did. And this shadow person showed up. Now, Jenny saw this creature, whatever it is. She saw the shadow person. I was laying on the couch and I was dead asleep. And she saw him get either stand up or something from behind the couch and move towards the door. She said he just moved like lightning quick towards the door and just vaporized in front of the front door. And I was like, okay. She says, did you see him? You know, she was asking me, did you see him? Did you hear him? I said, no. And then it wasn't until the next day, because that was pretty late at night, that I realized that the beeping was not as loud. I'm like, oh, shoot, I think they fixed it. She said, can you still hear the beeping? I said, yes, but it's not as loud. So the last, whatever it's been, I think it was about a year or so into it when Barbara Lamb had me ask them that. And that event happened within after I got home, which was about 1 to 2 weeks later. I got home from California. And, that's when that happened. But yeah, wild. Like I say, I never believed in UFOs before this. I thought people were just needing some attention or something. If somebody told me their UFO story, I was like, yeah, okay, yep, that's great, and just go on, because I didn't have any experience before this, and I just thought it was all BS. I tell you what, having an experience on your own will change your mind real quick. But yeah, where were we at? So, actually, there's one more thing. This is what got me into the Mars stuff. I never really cared about anything going on Mars before this. Now, not that I believe that the UFOs are coming from Mars. I really think most of them are probably coming from the moon. I think Mars has pretty well been destroyed, as we were seeing. You drop Mummy's cube, honey. Pick up her cube. I think Mars has pretty much been destroyed. I still think there's life surviving, but they're not thriving like they were. And I don't think there's any cities left on Mars, active cities. And there's obviously remnants of cities. But yeah, we met Giorgio Tsoukalos and his wife. I can't remember her name now. We met Nick Pope. I don't care. I know some people don't like Nick Pope now, but I still like him. just one.
It turned off door. It turned off. It was on
The
door.
bottom of the craft was.
It turned on. It turned off. It turned off.
Yeah, exactly. And the plasma looked like a ball. That's exactly what I described to Joe Lewis. I said, now the top side of the craft, from what my daughter explained, because one of my older daughters got taken also. She actually saw the craft from the side profile. Now I didn't, but from what she described to me, it's a lighter metal on top, and it's very, very dark underneath, and it's kind of wavy. The only way I could describe it was it looks like the bottom of a mushroom. If you look at a mushroom up under the head of the mushroom, that black part in there with those wavy lines, although not as many as the mushroom had. It's like, I don't remember, 12 or 16 or something like that, of those. I call them ridges, but they really don't come to a ridge. They're more like a wavy pattern like this, where it goes up and down all the way around. Yeah, like one of them rides at the carnival. What is that thing? It's called the avalanche, where it goes around in a circle, but it has all these waves that go around, and you ride it, or it spins around and it goes up and down as you go. That's what the bottom of the craft looked like, and then that big plasma ball in the middle. And he asked me during the regression, do I remember how I got inside the craft? I said, I don't know. I said, there was a red beam that came down, and I felt myself getting pulled up because, sadly, I still vape to this day, but I wouldn't vape in the house because of my kids. So it was about, I'm trying to remember, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning. I get up, I go to the bathroom, and I grab my vape, and I go outside, and I stand outside the front door. And I don't have my glasses on, which I don't normally wear them unless I need to. But anyway, I don't have my glasses on, so everything's a little blurry. And I'm sitting there vaping, and I'm looking out because we lived over there by Hueco tanks, and I'm looking out at the tanks actually because my house faced towards the tanks, and I'm looking out there, and it just sort of dawns on me because the tanks are right here on my right side, and they'll come to about the middle of your view if you're standing straight. And then on the left side is the rest of the little housing areas, and you see sky, and then you see a couple of hills over there too. So I'm looking at them going, it just dawns on me, I don't see any stars in the sky. Like, what the heck? And I start looking up. Hold on, somebody wants their little skirt on. There you go. Put your foot over here. Alright. There you go. Oh, so it dawns on me, I don't see any stars in the sky. So I start looking up, and I got my vape in my left hand. And I'm like, oh my gosh, and this thing is above me. There's no lights on it. The blue plasma ball I actually didn't even see until the beam came on. And it's hovering there, and it's huge. Joe Lewis asked me, how big did I think this thing was? I was like, man, I don't know. My house is 40 foot wide, more or less. I said, in the angle I'm looking up, and I can just barely see the roof as I look up, I said, it's wider than that from the angle I'm at. So I said, I don't know, maybe 100 feet? He said, how high do you think it was up in the air? I'm not sure. I said, it couldn't have been more than about 50 feet in the air. And he said, do you think anybody else saw this? Anyone passing by? I said, I honestly didn't see any cars on the road or anything. But then we're in a small community, way outside of El Paso, and you know, we don't get much traffic. There's maybe less than 200 people total that live up there. So, I'm standing there. My vape is in my left hand. This red beam comes out, and like I said, that's when I noticed plasma. The plasma wasn't super bright. It wasn't like lighting up the sky, or well, it would be the ground because it's facing me, but it's not lighting up the ground. It's not very bright, but you can see it. I mean, you can tell it's brighter than the rest of the craft. And this red beam comes down, and it's got these like metallic sparkles in it. And then I start feeling myself being pulled up. It's like, I don't know how to explain it. Like gravity just let go of me. I mean, I don't know. It's not like something pulling on your arms or your body. You just start to feel this like weightlessness, like gravity has no pull on you anymore. And now here's the interesting part. I'm going up. My vape is in my left hand. No, not this vape. It's a different one. And I dropped my vape, and it hit the dirt. Now, why didn't that get pulled up also? Which was a question I've had for a long time. It was just me standing there in my underwear. Yes, we had very few people around us, so you could stand outside in your underwear. Me getting pulled up. I dropped the vape. It hits the ground. And like I say, I was like, well, the beam surrounded me and the vape. And another interesting thing about it is my pickup is parked in front of me. And the light, and it wasn't super bright light, but still, it didn't light up the ground underneath it. It didn't light up the pickup or anything. And it was really strange. I just, the whole experience was strange. And that's why I thought, okay, I'm just, I thought for the longest time these were just dreams. The other time it happened was at my other house that was up in the tanks. And that one happened same way when I went outside to vape. And that one was, I think, at 4 in the morning, 3 or 4 in the morning. I have all the times written down and everything, but yeah. Here's something else I noticed in here. Check out this piece. This definitely looks like a cube, and the one next to it also, by the way. And huh?
My cube's better.
Your cube's better.
Yeah, he said it looks like a cube. My cube's better.
Okay.
Smells like onions in here.
I don't know. Laura got some chicharrones. But this one, it kind of reminds me of a battery, a car battery. Take a look at this. Goodness gracious. It looks like almost like a type of terminal right here. And there could be another one on the other end. And then there's some sort of bracket piece here. Maybe we found a Martian car battery. But it don't look like a rock, I can tell you that. And it comes down over here. Now I don't know if this is part of it or this is a separate piece. I can get in real close. Actually, it looks like it's part of it. So maybe this whole thing is one piece. Cause see this over here? Same thing. I hope I have enough time to get back to this week. Well, this week I will, but I mean in the next few days I really want to get this finished and get out. And that was the other thing, this little ring right here. There's a ring right there. But yeah, that shape don't look natural to me, even if it's part of the roof that broke off. It's got a very peculiar shape to it. See the rounded edge here? Or actually it's not even rounded. It's this piece on both sides, you can barely see on there, is extruded outward just a little bit. Well, and then yeah, it is kind of rounded. And then you have this piece in the middle. No, it's actually like two terminals. Look at that. I don't know. I'm gonna have to clean this image up a little better and see if I can draw any of that out. Segmented sections. Oh, on the Christmas tree? I don't know what to make of it. They could be scales, but we need to know what the object is before we can really speculate as to what these things are. But yeah, it could be scales. It could be hell, I don't even know. Yeah, let's go with scales because that's probably the best way to describe it. They're slanted downwards. Let me go back to the model, but let me show you here first. These are slanted downwards, all of these. They don't just stick straight out. They kind of follow the angle of the tree, you know. Yeah, let me show that in the model. Did I move them down? Nope, I still got them straight out. That's what I needed to do. Okay, let's see. Select you. Alt-R. Alt-R clears your rotation. You put it back in its orientation. Okay, this is what I needed to do anyway. I had so much going on this week. I just didn't have the time to get to the stuff I needed to. We'll do this real quick. This won't take long. So I can show you. Oh, they are slanted down a little bit. Well, not enough. Definitely not enough if I didn't notice it. Is that all of them? I don't think so. Grab on the Z. Something like that right there. Might be a little too much. Grab on the Z and go back up. Right about there, maybe. But something like that. Yeah, exactly. It kind of looked like scales, and these corners may be separated. So I may go through and take these off and then extrude them. It's called extrude individual faces, and that way they're not connected in the middle. Yeah, kind of. Except I don't know about these parts right here, but yeah, a lingam could very well be. I would love to be able to talk to Praveen and see what he thinks about this. It'd be a pretty large lingam, though. Lingams are usually, just maybe a couple of feet high. Not always, but usually. And so maybe it's a big lingam. But, oh, yeah, I'd love to show this to Praveen and see what he thinks. Because, yeah, I don't know. Like I say, I'm definitely stumped by whatever it is. Yeah, very well could be. Oh, this is that overhanging piece right here. Am I back in object mode? Yeah, okay, I can click on it. I'm going to show you. Oops, get out of the way. Oops, come on. There. Now we can rotate around it. But this actually overhangs over this broken part right here, and we can see some shadowing underneath, which I'll show in the image. But the shadow didn't come out right. Why have I got light part where it should be shadow? It's connected. Yeah, maybe because it's in Eevee. Eevee kind of guesstimates at where the shadow should be. Cycles, that render engine, the more realistic one, which takes longer to render, it actually does light paths and light bounces. But let's go back so I can show you that in the image. Right there. That's that piece. The full screen. That's that piece right here. And see how it overhangs just slightly on the lingam or the Christmas tree. I don't think I'm going to go with lingam, because I don't know why they would have Christmas on Mars. Might make for a catchy song title. And then there's this piece that sticks up on top of this piece, which I have not got the model yet. And I don't even know what this side is. This one looks like, you know, could be a piece of concrete, could be a rock. Okay, but this, once again, another piece that I don't know, because it's got this shiny part that comes up, turns 90 degrees, and then back 90 degrees the other way. And then there's some sort of piece on top. That's too blurry to see, and that's as far as I can go in on this. So is it a rock with a piece of metal on it, or is it the whole thing some sort of object? Because if you look at it, it kind of looks like it goes pretty flat across here, and then it's got this triangular piece right here, and it's as, you know, as wide as the object itself, and then there's that slot that's in it right there. So I don't know. Where else? Oh, this is another, what looks like a caved in area again. But this one is not as bad. Man, my throat is bothering me. Is the wind blowing outside? I don't even know what to make of this piece. Take a look how that comes up like that. Thank you, darling. It almost, this almost looks like another door. This could be a tunnel back here. This could be the door frame around it, right here. And this could be the door. Not saying that's what it is, but it kind of looks like it. And this is actually in front of these rocks right here. Yeah, exactly.
What?
This right here, it looks like a tunnel. So you can see the top part. You can't really see the bottom part because the rocks underneath are obscuring it. But you see that?
Yeah.
Look, there's even a door handle.
Wow.
Yeah, you know who's gonna say, "Boy, you really got a wild imagination. You need to get a day job." You just call him Mr. JPL. Now, this has some definite geometry to it. As Dave Gannett says, this is definitely non-fractal. And who was it? Joe White or someone lighting this up, and it actually looks like a doorway right here. I think it was his video on that. And obviously this is in the same area as the other stuff. In fact, it's right in front of our cave-in right here. But I think it was Joe White's video that pointed this out. I could be wrong. It might be, no, it wasn't Dave. I don't think. Dave Gannett. But this would be a good one for Dave to do in 3D, to see the actual 3D of this would be great, and then I could really model this accurately. But okay, these two walls go vertical, and then you have this part right here that comes out at an angle on both sides. I wish you could see, but it almost looked like these are steps going up. See that? 1, 2, 3, 4. I can't tell they go all the way across because it looks like it's just too grainy. I was about to say it's obscured by something sitting on top of them, And it might be, but he brightened this up and it looked like a doorway here. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Where was that other one? Is this it? Now this is one rock sitting in front of this rock. Thought I saw another one. Oh, yes, right here. This is it. Now look at this doorway. You've got this definite shape to it. Now this is one. Oh, didn't mean to bump the mic again. This is one I'm definitely going to wind up having a model this week. Look how this comes up. It doesn't make a square corner. It's actually a beveled corner. Comes across. Now that's an exhaust pipe for their stove. This is a travel trailer right here. It comes across, slopes down at an angle in the front, and then it's beveled right here and comes down. These are some hillbilly Martians here because this was a travel trailer that they converted to a house. Here's their doorway. It's kind of arched at the top. And then they got their little storage shed right here. And this thing, I mean, I'm making jokes, but seriously, this thing looks like a travel trailer at the top of this hill. The only thing missing is the tongue where you pull it, and maybe it's obscured by this rock. This is one we're going to get to model. Okay, I was going to show you the square shape of this. This comes up, across, and back down. That's the corner. Now this rooftop slopes up as you get to this side, and then it's actually caved in right there, or rotted if it's wood. And then, you know, but it comes across over there. Then this is the front side of it, and look how it's in line with that. Well, not exactly in line. It's probably about a foot or two behind this door. There's some space. Is that a couple of feet or what? Between the front of this piece and that doorway. Now, is that a doorway? Are these, see this angle, something coming out? Is that steps going up to it? I mean, this does not look like a rock or anything natural to me. I almost forgot about this one. And if these are true redneck Martians, they've got their refrigerator outside with the most important stuff in it, the beer, and then a little bit of food. And the barbecue grill would be somewhere over here where this generator is. Because they don't have city power, so they have to run on a generator. But seriously, this looks like a square, or, well, beveled square cube right back here. It's just getting so blurry as you get to the back you can't see, but that's probably the generator they use to run their lights and stuff. And this is the exhaust. This is some sort of round pipe coming out from their stove when they're cooking inside. I don't know, I think we found the hillbillies. But anyway, that's like a beveled round, and it actually comes across to here, slopes down. Now maybe that's just a rock, I don't know, but the front just looks weird. Let's see. That was, and yeah, there's something on the rooftop too. I'm gonna try to get to this part and clean this up because this is pretty cool either way. In fact, let me go ahead and screen cap this. Get my snippet tool. Save. 3464. Oops, did I pass it? Oh, 3466. I'm going to say that. I'm going to call this the travel trailer. Trailer image 01. Okay, got it saved because I don't want to forget about that. Okay, I have a hair hanging down somewhere. Where are you? Oh yeah, from the what am I saying? The travel trailer. Maybe. You gotta give it a few seconds. I think I accidentally put a delay on this time. Looks like every time I look at this thing, looks like it's delayed when I see on YouTube. Where is it? Not there. Well, that's a chat. Where's the oh, it's over here. Yeah, when I'm seeing what's on the viewer, it's delayed, so I think I actually put on a delay. Yeah, because it just now got to where I clicked back on the image. Darn it. I was trying to fiddle with it to get it started. I tell you, these things, oh, they frustrate me. Alright, that was that piece. Hey, I was looking for their barbecue grill. Here's the remains of one of their old cars right here. I don't know if y'all have rednecks over there in England, but we have them plentiful. And this is literally how this is clean for their yard, but there would be car frames, like, I don't know if there's an engine part there or what, but this scene right here, if this was a travel trailer, they'll be living in a travel trailer. They will have the little shack outside where they have the refrigerator in here. They always have to have a barbecue grill, so that's sitting over here because you want it kind of in the shade, you know. Rusted up car frame sitting here. I said, yeah. And then have one or two working cars sitting over here somewhere. Yeah, it's kind of funny to me. All right, what are we getting into over here? Oh, and they live in the middle of nowhere. See, that kind of looks caved down right there. Oh my gosh, she gave me these cookies. I love cookies. I'm smelling them right now. Let me move them. Okay. Yeah, that's about, I don't know, 15, 20 seconds behind. Okay. All right. No, I forgot I'm not on the GigaPan. I'm on this. Let's see. Let's go back to Blender. Let me see if I forgot to show you anything here. And then I got one more project I'm thinking about. Oh, did I show you the dog bone? I got the dog bone model, the one I called the dog bone last week. It's not done. I still have to bevel the edges and put it in place a little better. But there you go. That was that one that we looked at last week. Go here. Oops. Where's the GigaPan? Okay, that's down over here. That was this piece right here. I started working on that actually right before I came on. So that's that piece here. Now, this side looks like it sticks out a little farther than this one, but it could also just be the angle. So I'm going to try to figure that out before then, but it's almost like that piece I called the casket that was over here. But obviously, this is probably about 3 to 4 times the size of the piece on the right. If I stay zoomed in just the same. I won't zoom in. There you go. So maybe 3 times the size of that. This is 3 times smaller, this one is, but that other one is about 3 times the size of this. So I don't know what these pieces are, but they're pretty cool. There's obviously a good bit of detail I'm going to have to add to it, but something is extruded upward at the top here. It's actually extruded upward above the body itself. At least it looks like it from this angle right here. Looks like this piece, it comes up to here. See that? It comes up, over, down, and there's the bottom line. And then this is what you're seeing across the top. So I'm probably going to wind up going back and bringing that up a little more. But this is this piece here, and it's not quite done. So I extruded it up some, but I'm thinking it's higher than that. That's that piece right here. It comes across here, comes up. It should actually probably come up here. Grab on the ZZ. Did that go on the local Z? Yeah, something like this. And then it should probably scale in on the XX like that. But I think I need to bring these bottoms out a little wider. So I might wind up doing that. We'll see. Let's save that since I did that. And then this rock, I'm still working on putting the details in it, but that's the basic shape that that one had. Yeah, I honestly don't understand when you look at this as a whole. Now, you can look at this doorway over here. Is my spotlight on? Is that what that is? Let me turn off the spotlight. Oh, yeah, that's what it is. And my camera's in the way. Okay. You can look at this doorway, and apparently you can argue that this is not a doorway. And I say apparently because I thought this was pretty clear and evident. But, you know, even Anton Petrov, and I love Anton Petrov. I watch his videos and everything. And, you know, I listen to a lot of what he says. But even he was saying that it's not a doorway. One thing he did say, though, that was pretty interesting was that the rock that you were talking about being like a doorway would fit in here. So I think I'm wrong on this. And he said maybe during one of the earthquakes, and not necessarily this last one, but he said maybe during the earthquake, it shook that rock loose from the face of this and opened this up in here. And I'm still, like I said, I don't agree with him on his assessment, and it's only his and NASA's assessment too, that this is formed naturally. Like I say, you've got this rectangular piece right here. You've got what literally looks like a doorpost right here. And you can't see this right side because it's obscured. And then you've got these smooth concrete looking walls on the inside. Concrete, plaster, whatever they use. Let me get you on the spot so we can see this a little better. But yeah, I don't see how they're coming up with that this is a naturally formed cave. Oh, it looks like my spotlight's a little bright. I don't remember changing it. But yeah, I just don't know. They really confuse me with that. But okay, my point was, let's say you say, okay, all right, I'll concede that that's maybe a naturally formed rock. Okay. Okay. So, what's this? This has a definite shape to it. As once again, as Dave would say, a non-fractal shape. We're looking at something non-fractal. Okay. They say, pareidolia, you're just dreaming. You're thinking you're seeing stuff on Mars. Okay. 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 All right. All right. All right. Let me put it back where it was. Okay. All right. So, in fact, let's go up. I'll just go up to the image. So there's less question. All right. All right. I got you. I got you. How do you explain this right here? This whole section right here. Well, and they might ask what you mean. I said, well, this object looks literally. Oh, that was not good. Okay, this object looks literally like it was standing up. It fell over and collapsed these rocks inward. And we're pretty sure it did because this piece remains, and where this fell on it, you can see a line right there, like this piece was just a little stronger than the rock around it, and it broke all that around it, and right up to the edge of this rock right here, that's still standing there. I keep forgetting I'm not in the gigapan. And you can see underneath this. Well, sometimes rocks can be hollow. They can have caves. Oh, okay. Oh, I can't get over far enough to see this one. I was going to do that one, but okay. So you say, all right. Okay. That's okay. What about the symmetry of this rock right here? At some point, like I say, they're going to have to admit or concede because there's just too many definite unnatural rock shapes in this area. There's no way all of these are rocks. That this was not intelligently made. I mean, even in this, before I clean up this part of the image, I can already see that this comes up into an archway and comes back down. I'd love if Chris would do a video on this part right here. This would be fantastic. This stuff in here, because he's really good at bringing this stuff out. But, yeah, I don't know. I want to get into one more thing. So let's... And this is kind of a side project, and I'm not sure what to do with it, but I think... let's save. But I think... if I can get it. I'm thinking about starting to do a segment once a week, because NASA doesn't really update the news on Mars more than about once a week. So I actually created this studio in Blender, like a television studio, and I'm thinking about doing the news from Mars, stuff that's happening. And I created a television studio camera. I worked on that day before yesterday, which is why I didn't get back to our 3466 model day before yesterday. And then yesterday I had so much going on. But I made this camera, the desk, the TVs. And I thought, yeah, I'm going to try if I can get on this. There we go. So I put all the little switches and dials. I haven't labeled them yet, but you don't need to anyway. You're not going to see that side of the camera. But, yeah, I created this news studio, and then I put the TVs. And they actually play video, although Blender may crash. So they play video. I'm not going to play too much because it has to be rendered. And I put key lights in here, which work. They're bright as can be. I'm gonna tone them down a little bit, but I had a model right here, so I could test the lighting on the key light. In fact, I'm not even really in rendered mode. Oh, I don't have the other light on. But anyway, with the key lights on, it's pretty bright, and then yeah, the lights have stopped. So I'm thinking about maybe once a week doing a maybe a news segment on the stuff that's happening on Mars. So I don't know. What do you think? Good idea? Not good idea? And I can't agree. Yeah, right. Yeah, his assessment. I don't know. You know, I just don't see how they come up with a conclusion that that was formed naturally. You know, I don't know. Yeah, non-fractal and rectilinear geometry, i.e., created by an intelligent mind. Exactly. But yeah, I don't know. Just an idea. It took me about, well, the camera took forever, and you're only gonna see this camera when they're like switching shots. You know how they in the newsroom they'll be switching from like the whoever does the weather for me is gonna be over here. I'm hoping the wife does it, but I've been trying to talk her into doing the weather for me, because they actually do post the weather on Mars. It's usually a couple of days late, but you can get it from the Curiosity Rover. So this would be the what? Hold on. That's one of her deformed cubes.
It's the only one I can't solve.
All right, y'all forgive me. I'm going to take a few puffs.
You shouldn't do that.
Talk about your cube.
I've had this one for what, a year now? There's videos on it, but the videos do not help at all.
That's why I said when you figured it out now, right? Haven't you solved that one?
No, I've never solved this one before. I want to solve it, but I've never solved it.
Oh, Ricardo says, ooh, that's intriguing. Yeah. So hopefully she can figure that one out. That's one. Is that the only one, or there were two? I thought there was two you couldn't solve.
There's probably another one. I just gotta find it. See.
Where's that one that when you turn it, no, it's probably that one. I thought there was another one. They weren't triangular pieces like that, but they also, oh yeah, they came out, twisted, and went back in.
Okay, so I'm not the only one. I have that cube, right?
Yeah.
I don't know where it's at. Hold on. I'm already late for work, so.
You're not late. You will be late. Okay, sorry about that. 2 hours is about my limit. Unless I'm sleeping. But anyway, yeah, I thought maybe start do a little news segment on the happenings on Mars, like the Mars quake and stuff, and some great finds. I definitely want to do that. And I was going to show you. Yeah, that. Well, yeah, there's that one too, but no, you showed me one where the piece comes out, turns, or something. But yeah, the most time was spent just modeling. Oh, okay, maybe it was that one. Modeling the camera. The TVs only took about 10-15 minutes a piece. The hard part was getting the video to play right, and then it still crashes Blender. But when I render it, it won't. Or I may just put the video in DaVinci and apply it to the TVs in DaVinci Resolve, because it's probably going to be faster that way. Because you're not worried about applying video to a 3D mesh.
Pieces stick out.
Mm-hmm. Alright, you better get ready for work.
Yeah, my clothes just finished drying.
Just finished drying?
We're gonna throw them in.
Oh.
Yeah.
Alright, let me get back to this, babe.
Go ahead.
But anyway, this is pretty cool because the camera actually works. If you move the base, you can move the base around. Then this part, let's see, what is it? Grab this. You can actually move it up and down. Let's see. I grabbed the wrong one. Alright, you can move it up and down. So your camera can go up and down. You can grab these handles. And you can rotate this. So you can rotate your camera. Let's see. Oh, I think I forgot to put the pivot on, didn't I? No, this has got the pivot. And I haven't put any on. Oh, yeah, there we go. So there's your pivot. And then your monitor up here, which I haven't finished that piece yet. It'll have the same texture as the screens. You can actually grab this. Let's see. Oops. Oh, grab this. There we go. And you can actually adjust your monitor if you want. I don't know. Just kind of fun. But yeah, I thought about doing a news segment. And then, like I say, when you're sitting behind the desk and they're filming you, well, actually, we could go behind the desk. It's just, and those key lights, I know they're bright. I'm going to adjust them, obviously, if I decide to go ahead and do this. I'm trying to figure out, what to do on it. And there's no back of the room. You're not going to see that anyway. But, when they're switching shots, like from doing news and weather, news over here, weather over here, you might see a camera go across, grab on the Y, rolling over here and zooming in or something. I don't know. I haven't figured it all out yet. Still working on it. And I'm not sure what texture to make the walls right now. But yeah. Oh, and then I put these ring lights up top. They're bright too. But yep, that's basically what's lighting the whole scene. So if I go into rendered view, in Eevee it's not gonna look real good. That's what it is. Okay. If I go over to cycles, which will take a few seconds to do the live render, but I'll hold off on that. The textures look a heck of a lot better always in cycles. So I just made some wood grain, and then I put these emissive lights right here on the front of the desk and everything. And then the chair will be a physical object. I'll be sitting in a real chair if I do this. What was I going to show you on that? Yeah. And then, oh, come on, let me in the room. There we go. So you'll be able to actually sit behind the desk. And then I've got a table I'm going to use in the real world. And that way I can have interaction with the table. I'll have it green screened. And you'll be able to, put your hands on it and stuff. Whatever, how they hold the paper sometimes and read from, just stuff like that. And I'll be able to mask out the real table and then align everything with the CGI table. But yeah, it's kind of what I was working on 2 days ago, and I got this modeled in like less than a day. The kind of interesting part was to try to figure out how to put video on a 3D mesh, so I had to figure that out. I finally gave up and watched a video on it, and that guy explained it real quick. I was like, I had it almost right. I was that close. I had everything right except a couple of the settings. But yeah, you can actually see the TV. You can see your video, and it will render out. But all right, I think we will jump off of here. Thank y'all for joining me. Any ideas? Any thing you want to see Anything you want to talk about before we? What time is it there? Let's see. You're 7 hours ahead of me, I think you said, because you were 5 hours ahead of East Coast time, so it's almost 11. I remember you said you're in the UK.
I think it's 7 hours.
Yeah, 7 hours, right?
Because
Because
Katie's in the UK also.
yeah, Jenny's friend Katie is from the
So it's 4
UK,
right now
and
here, so
I think she's 7 hours.
11 something there.
Yeah. Well, I got to give it a minute because I somehow put the delay on when I was trying to fix this thing. Yeah, he's at 11:20 p.m. here.
Yep.
So yeah, we won't stay on much longer. But you think the newsroom idea is a good idea? I mean, I don't know. It was a thought that came to me, and I was kind of bored that day, and I said, I can knock out a room in one day. And believe it or not, that darn camera took forever. I thought it was going to be simple, and I modeled this off of Sony, and I still got to put the labels on it. I don't know why I just did that. Oh, that's what I was going to ask. I was thinking about calling it, what did I say? Mars News, Mars 9 News, and then put that label on the side here and a big sticker right here with it. And that way, like I said, you're only going to see it when the camera rolls across in front of the other camera. It'd just be kind of cool. Okay. Yeah, that's right. That's true. So he's apparently off on Sundays because he said it's Saturday night for him, so it's no big deal.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's Saturday for us, too.
You know it's 420, right?
Yeah, I know. That's ridiculous.
That's important for two reasons. Wow. Just joking. I didn't say why. Well, yeah, I love the way it came out. You can't really see the ring in there, can you? Yeah, you can. The little tiny bolts holding the lens in. I like it. I like the way it turned out. So, and it'll look a little better in cycles. But yeah, that was several hours. It was probably about 4 hours to model this, and then the handles in case you want to take it off the stand itself. But this was a Sony television studio camera, and it's loosely based on that. Well, I say loosely. No, it's more than loosely, but the stuff on the handles, I couldn't tell what the switches looked like on the handle, so I was like, I'm gonna have to just put some switches and figure out. Like I said, you're not really gonna see this. It's not like you're gonna see it when it rolls across in front of you. So I just want it to look good enough to roll it in front of the other camera every so often, so it looks like they're, like I say, they're moving over to do the weather, and then the other camera's moving in and out, whatever it needs to do for the different segments, and then they'll start. This video will start on the TV itself, and then it'll transition to, they do on the news where they have the big TV and they'll start the video there, and then they transition to the actual image, the actual video. What? I don't know what that is. Huh? Come here. Table? What about it? Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay. I'm not good with sign language. I got it. But I like the idea of the weekly Mars News. There must be loads of things that could be covered. Yeah. There's several channels that I watch, and several what do you call them? Articles and stuff that I'm looking up throughout the week. It's more videos I watch than articles, but I do, especially if the video is linked to an article, like Anton Petrov does a lot. I mean, I'll check the article out and stuff, and there's several ones Do I have any up right now? Parts of a plant. Sol 3474. What's underneath this? No. Yeah. Well, of course, this is the NASA one. Oops. I do it every time. There we go. Bring that back up. Like this is. I actually was going to start with talking about these. But anyway, the Insight, I did want to mention this. They're talking about the Insight rover is about to lose power because of the dust-covered solar panels. You can see those right here. As brilliant as these scientists are, and I know the original mission was not supposed to last this long, and so that's probably why they did it. But as brilliant as these guys are, I mean, why didn't they just... It could have added too much weight to add something to clean off the panels. Even if it was a little vibrating motor. And then they could... Well, they'd also have to have the motor in use. The one that originally unfolded the solar panels. Did they fold up like this, or did they open up in a circle? I don't remember. But anyway, like some way to clean these off, maybe a vibrating motor to shake that dust off. How much, could that take? Your phone has a vibrating motor in it. Every time you get a phone call, the phone vibrates. And so why couldn't they put something like that? That wouldn't draw that much power, and be able to shake off the dust on these. I think that would have been a perfect idea. And even if you have to tilt the panels down just a little bit, just slightly, they'll still get about the same amount of sunlight. Hey, Aurora, she got to get ready for work. But yeah, or like Chris was talking about, having that electrostatic charge where they can just charge it and it flings the dust off. Something, so they're having to conserve power, but they are talking about they're still looking for more Mars quakes. So I wanted to get into that, but yeah, I forgot all about that. Maybe on the next one, unless there's more news. But yeah, definitely if I do a news type deal, I'll get into these, and then there's other sites that I go to also. But yeah, I'm always looking for Mars news, because if anything pops up, I am on it. But okay, yeah, you like the idea, so I may do a test recording and just see how that goes. Maybe tomorrow night or something. Try to get that, and I figure that would be a good video to put out like on the weekends or something. Yeah, exactly. Send a rover over there, sweep off the panels. Why waste the equipment? A lot of the equipment on there, I don't know how much, maybe all of it is still working. They had problems with something when it first landed. I don't remember. Something about placing the thermal sensor into the ground. I don't remember now. But anyway, they had some sort of problem, but otherwise it worked. Everything was working perfectly on it. So now we're going to have to waste the equipment. By the end of the summer, they're going to start shutting down the rest of the experiments that run on it. Hopefully they'll keep the seismometer up. They'd said till the end of this month on the seismometer, I think. And then the rest of the equipment is supposed to be the end of the summer. It's like, wow, that's kind of sad. Everything's still working on it. And, well, at least all the important stuff is still working on it. And because of the solar panels, you got to shut that down. So, I don't know. Yeah, I mean, there's so many things I could do reports on. The problem is the last time this was updated was March 17th. So they don't update it every day. Just like if you look up the weather on Mars, because that was the other segment. It's for the heck of it. And I don't know why you can't find it in there very easy. Oh, there it is. And then you go. Is this it? I don't think this one's it. No. No. But anyway, you can go and get the weather, and that one hasn't been updated for like 4 or 5 days. I'm like, why? The Curiosity Rover takes weather readings every day. They'll tell you the high and they'll tell you the low. Like 4 days ago, the high during the day was 30. Let's see, it was 34 degrees, and the low was like minus 78. And then the day before that, it was 36 degrees, and this is Fahrenheit, and the low was minus 98, I think, something like that. But yeah, so we might do that. Like I say, I want to at least do a test video this weekend and see how that's going to go. And 4:29.
Yeah, focus on your recording.
Okay.
You're live.
All right, just don't want you to be late. But yeah, so we may try that this weekend. But well, all right. It's great having y'all on here, and we will try this again next week. Still enjoying it, so it goes from just above freezing point. Yeah, they're in the late spring or early summer in Gale Crater. So it's not right now. It's not so bad, and you know, is it accurate? You know, is NASA telling us the accurate truth about the temperature? Probably so, because we are seeing, and that goes back to my point. Yeah, 32 is 0 Celsius, right? So you're just above freezing. Last week we were talking about, could that be water out from under the rock? That was what I was going to show. Darn. Okay. Was NASA is trying to figure out whether it's water ice or carbon dioxide. Yeah. Carbon ice, basically. But they're trying to figure that out, and we saw, you know, what looks like water under those rocks, the moist rocks around it. Well, now I'm getting pretty sure that that's what we were seeing, because they are saying that there is a frost layer. This is the part that was important. There's a frost layer that forms at night because of the freezing temperatures, and in the daytime it gets warm enough to where the water melts. And what I guess the big argument was, if the atmosphere is so thin, then why didn't it just sublimate? How did it melt and turn into water? And then, you know, if it's 1/10 of the atmosphere here, I think it is, wouldn't it just sublimate? So, I don't know. But yeah, I wanted to get into that article today. Well, we'll do it next time. Or if I do the news broadcast, that might be one of the things I do. I got to make sure my printer's still working. I haven't used it in a while. All right, baby. Keys. But all right, I think we'll jump off of here, and I'm going to probably get something to eat. I'm going to eat these cookies that you handed me. I've been smelling the cookies the whole time. But y'all have a great night, and hopefully Chris is able to do a video next Friday. I know his schedule has been horrendous. Ah, you found him. I hear him. Come and say bye to everybody. You want to say bye to everybody, Aurora? We're about to jump off. Your hair's a mess, but that's all right. You've been playing. Hey, yeah.
Bye.
Say bye. We'll see you next week.
See you next week.
Yeah. But yeah, it's been great hanging with you. And y'all have a great night. And we shall see you on the next live. And I should be getting that video out this week if I don't get sidetracked. What are you talking about?
She's mocking you.
Ah, she's mocking me. He said hi, Aurora.
Hi.
Say hi, Ricardo.
Hi, Cardo.
All right, man. Have a great one. We'll see you on the next one. Say good night.
Good night.